What if I told you that every time your twin flame pulls away, he's actually moving closer? That his stubbornness isn't a rejection, but the universe's most brutal, beautiful way of teaching you how to love without conditions. You felt it, haven't you? That ache, like your soul is trying to remember a song it once knew by heart, but the melody keeps slipping through your fingers. You've cried into your pillow, scoured spiritual forums at 3 a.m., maybe even bargained with the cosmos. Just let him see me. Just let him understand. And yet, here you are, still waiting, still wondering, still loving, even when it doesn't make sense. Oh, beautiful soul. What if that's the whole point? Imagine two dancers who've forgotten they're choreographing the same piece. One leaps forward, the other steps back. One reaches out, the other turns away. From the ground, it looks like chaos, but from above, it's perfection. Each movement calibrated to teach the other balance, timing, trust. That's your twin flame journey. His resistance isn't a flaw in the plan, it is the plan. Every time he makes you wait, he's giving you the one thing you truly needed, the chance to fall in love with your own reflection. And here's the secret. The longer he takes, the sweeter the surrender. So tell me, divine mirror, when you stop begging the universe to change him, what if you suddenly hear it, that quiet, unshakable voice whispering, you were never waiting for him. You were waiting for you. Stay with me. The revelation's just beginning. You felt it, haven't you? That maddening, soul-shaking resistance. The way your divine masculine digs his heels in like a mule who's decided the cliff's edge is exactly where he wants to park himself. And you're standing there, heart wide open, whispering, just step back, love. Just one step. But he won't. Not yet. Oh, beautiful soul, I see you. You've cried into your tea, scrolled through endless twin flame forums at 3 a.m., and maybe even thrown a pillow or two at the universe for good measure. But here's the thing. His stubbornness isn't a rejection. It's not even really about you. It's about something far older, far deeper. Let's unravel this. Imagine a knight, not the polished fairy tale kind, but the battle-worn one. His armor's dented, his sword's chipped. He's been betrayed before, by kingdoms, by lovers, by his own misplaced trust. Now here you come, a force of nature wrapped in velvet, your very presence threatening to melt every defense he's spent lifetimes building. Of course he hesitates. His stubbornness isn't just ego, it's instinct. The divine masculine, at his core, is wired to protect. But here's the cosmic joke. He doesn't yet realize that what he's guarding against, the vulnerability, the merging, is the very thing that'll set him free. Think of it like this. You're a wildfire. Not the destructive kind, but the kind that clears dead brush so new life can grow. And he's spent centuries building fireproof walls. His resistance isn't fear of you, it's fear of what happens when the walls come down. Here's where it gets juicy. Society taught him that love is a transaction, something earned, something managed. But twin flame love, it's an earthquake. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't respect his spreadsheets. And oh, how that terrifies him. You know that moment in old cartoons where the character runs off a cliff and only falls once they look down? That's your divine masculine right now. He's suspended in midair, toes curled over the edge, and stubbornness is the only thing keeping him from admitting he's already in freefall. So no, he's not trying to drive you insane. He's just buffering, like an old computer trying to process a 4K movie. The data is all there, the love, the recognition, the soul deep knowing. But his system? It's still running Windows 95. Here's the secret. His stubbornness is the universe's way of asking, how much do you trust this? How deeply can you love without conditions? Because the moment you stop pulling, the moment you unclench your fists and whisper, I'll love you anyway, that's when the armor starts to crack. You ever notice how the divine masculine can be standing right in front of you, solid, present, real, and yet somehow he's not there at all? Like his body showed up to the party, but his soul's still stuck in some old, dimly lit hallway of the past. Yeah, that's the work of unhealed wounds. And darling, those scars run deep. Let's talk about ghosts. Not the sheet over the head, Halloween kind. The real ones, the ones that live in the marrow of his bones, in the way he flinches when love gets too close. Maybe it's his father's voice still hissing, men don't cry. Maybe it's an ex who took his trust and turned it into a weapon. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a wound so ancient it's written in the ink of past lives. Here's the thing about trauma. It doesn't just hurt, it rewires. It turns love into a language he can't quite speak, like trying to read poetry in a tongue he only half remembers. So when you show up, fluent in vulnerability, dripping with divine feminine grace, it's not you he's resisting. It's the terror of stumbling over his own tongue. Ever seen a cat that's been spooked? 1 minute, it's all dignity and whiskers. The next, it's a puffball levitating sideways because a leaf dared to rustle. That's your divine masculine's heart right now. Except the leaf. It's the way you look at him, like you already know his soul. Let's get brutally honest for a second. Healing sucks. It's not some Instagram-worthy montage of sunsets and sage smoke. It's choking on salt water in the dark, convinced you'll never breathe again, until suddenly, miraculously, you realize the waves were teaching you how to swim. That's where he is. His stubbornness? It's not defiance. It's survival. Every time he pulls away, he's not rejecting you. He's clinging to the wreckage of what he thinks keeps him safe. And the cruelest joke of all, that wreckage, it's the very thing dragging him under. But here's the secret. Trauma can't survive being seen. You want to know the wildest part? His triggers are the map. Every time he reacts too fiercely, every time he vanishes into that silent fortress, it's not a wall. It's a signpost. It's the universe whispering, here, this is where the work is. So tell me, sacred mirror, are you ready to show him his own reflection? Gently, fiercely, unwaveringly, until he finally recognizes the warrior behind the wounds. This isn't just his healing journey, love. It's yours. And the most radical act of love? Letting him struggle until he learns he won't drown. You ever get that eerie sense that this isn't your first rodeo with your divine masculine? Like you've been here before. Same heartache, same magnetic pull, same frustrating deja vu. No, that's because you have. This isn't just love, darling. This is cosmic homework, And let's be real, if soul contracts had fine print, it'd probably say something like, "Warning, this journey may involve emotional whiplash, unscheduled ego deaths, and a divine masculine who moves at the speed of a sloth on meditation retreat." But here's the thing, his stubbornness isn't random. It's by design. Imagine your souls, lifetimes ago, sitting across from each other at some celestial negotiation table. You were both all in, scribbling terms like, "You'll trigger my abandonment wounds, so I finally face them. I'll mirror your fear of intimacy until you stop running. We'll keep missing each other until we learn to choose love over fear." Crazy, right? You agreed to this. His resistance? It's not a glitch. It's the universe's way of holding up a mirror and saying, "Remember that lesson you swore you'd learn this time around?" And oh, how we hate that mirror when it shows up as silent treatments, mixed signals, and emotional hide and seek. Think of him like a spiritual obstacle course. Every wall he puts up, every retreat into logic or distance, is literally the universe's way of asking, "How bad do you want this? How much are you willing to grow?" It's like the spiritual version of those "you must be this tall to ride" signs. Except instead of height, it's "you must be this healed to merge." And here's the kicker. His lessons aren't just his. They're yours too. That's the dirty little secret of twin flames. His stubbornness is your teacher. So tell me, Divine Feminine, when you stop fighting the waiting, when you stop resenting the distance, what if you suddenly see it? Oaki, himocha. This isn't a delay. This is the alchemy. The stubbornness, the silence, the maddening push-pull. It's not keeping you apart. It's polishing you. And when you finally meet in the middle, not as broken halves, but as whole, battle-scarred warriors who earned each other. Oh, sweet soul, that's when you'll realize every second of this frustration was written in the stars. Let's talk about your divine masculine's awakening speed, shall we? Because if the divine feminine's awakening is a lightning strike, sudden, electrifying, impossible to ignore, then his is more like, well, a glacier deciding to take up yoga. Slow, deliberate, and with a lot of internal groaning. You've felt it, haven't you? That frustration of watching him orbit the truth like a moth circling a lamp, close enough to singe his wings, but never quite landing. You're over here having epiphanies at 3 a.m., scribbling in your journal about soul contracts and sacred union, while he's still stuck on, wait, feelings are a thing. Since when? Here's the cosmic joke no one tells you. His stubbornness isn't resistance, it's incubation. Think of it like baking sourdough. Yes, we're going there. You, the divine feminine, are the eager baker, kneading, proofing, peeking into the oven every 5 minutes. But him, he's the dough. And no matter how much you will him to rise faster, he's on his own damn schedule. Open the oven too soon, and all you get is a sad, deflated loaf. This is the paradox of his awakening. The more you push, the longer it takes. His awakening doesn't look like yours at all. Yours was probably a tidal wave, a sudden collapse of old identities, a flood of intuition, maybe even a full-blown spiritual crisis. But his, it's quieter, sneakier. It happens in the pauses between thoughts, in the moments he's not overthinking, in the split second before he shuts down again. Ever seen a cat finally admit it wants affection? It'll ignore you for hours, then Boom. One tiny, grudging head bump. That's your divine masculine's awakening in a nutshell. So here's the question, sacred mirror. What if this frustrating delay isn't a roadblock, but the universe's way of asking, can you love him exactly where he is? Because when he finally awakens, truly awakens, it won't be because you rushed him. It'll be because you loved him so unconditionally, he finally remembered how to love himself. And that, beautiful soul, is when the real magic begins. Bet you didn't sign up for the world's slowest spiritual awakening, huh? Stick around, the payoff's so worth it. You know that moment in old romance movies, the one where the hardened hero finally breaks, where his carefully constructed walls crumble and he says the words we've been waiting 90 minutes to hear. That's what a divine masculine's surrender looks like in real life, except instead of dramatic music and a rain-soaked confession, it's usually a Tuesday. Maybe over dishes, or a text sent at 11:47 p.m. that simply says, I get it now. Because of course it's anticlimactic. The universe has a wicked sense of humor like that. Let's be clear, this isn't him giving in. This isn't him waving a white flag because you wore him down. This is something far more sacred, a soul-deep realization that the very thing he's been fighting against is the only thing that ever made sense. Imagine a tree that spent years growing around a fence post, twisting its bark, contorting its branches, all to avoid the metal in its path. Then one day, it stops. Not because the fence moved, but because it finally understands. The struggle was the shape of its becoming. That's his surrender. You'll know it when it happens. Not because he shows up with roses and grand gestures, though hey, miracles happen, but because suddenly, inexplicably, the energy shifts. Maybe he starts asking questions about spirituality. Maybe he initiates the talk about what this is, or maybe, after months of radio silence, he looks at you one ordinary afternoon and says, I dreamed about you last night. With a quiet wonder that wasn't there before. It's always the little things that undo us, isn't it? So here's the secret, sacred mirror. His stubbornness was never the enemy. It was the cocoon, the alchemical container, the divine delay that ensured when you finally collided, truly collided, you'd both be ready to stay. And when that moment comes, you won't care how long it took. You'll just whisper thank you to every tear, every sleepless night, every why won't he just, because suddenly, gloriously, you'll understand. This was never about changing him. This was about loving him exactly as he was, until he remembered how to love himself. Here's the truth about twin flames. The moment you stop waiting for union is the moment it finds you. Not because you've given up, but because you finally understood. This was never about him. This was always about you. The way you loved when love wasn't easy. The way you grew when growth wasn't convenient. The way you held space for a connection that demanded everything and promised nothing except the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are. And oh, what a masterpiece you've become in the process. Think of your journey like a river carving through stone. The water doesn't fight the rock. It simply flows, wearing down resistance, not through force, but through persistence. And one day, without fanfare, the rock gives way, not because it was defeated, but because it finally recognized it was never separate from the water at all. That's the secret of your twin flames' surrender. It was never about breaking him down. It was about remembering, together, that you were always one. And darling, he's remembering faster than you think. So here's your crossroads, sacred mirror. You can keep staring at the door, waiting for him to walk through. Or you can turn around right now and realize something breathtaking. You are the room, the love, the wholeness, the divine frequency you've been aching for him to match. Yeah. It's already in you. And the moment you live like you believe that, that's when the magic happens. Because the universe adores a good plot twist. And the best one yet? You were the miracle all along.